Hello everyone and welcome back to Mossy Pine Ranch at Elmcreek. We have reached episode number 27 and are now in August. I've set the helper running on the mowing of the grass meadow. It is ready to harvest again. It's always seems to have quite a few cycles every year, which is nice. Yet the helper is away after I've mowed the headland and set them more at a 90-degree angle this time. So yeah, they're making some nice rows. But we are in the John Deere first thing because we need to start the first part of the field prep on our largest field, field number 10, which we harvested last time. It had oats in it, and we reserved some of those oats for our horses, and then the rest of the oats are waiting in our farmyard silo over there, ready to be taken to the grain mill so we can turn it from oat into oat flour. But first things first is we're going to do a couple of headlands with the John Deere and the John Deere mulcher that's behind us, as yep, that is the first stage of the field prep for the next season's crop. So yeah, I know mulching only adds a little bit of extra yield to the next crop, but nonetheless it's a big field, so an extra 1 or 2% is going to go a long way. So let's get that fired into action. We'll lower it and we can get started with our mulching. And of course enough time has passed that a few weeds have come into the field, but that's okay. We're zapping them away with our mulcher at the same time as zapping those oat crop stalks, and that's what's going to rot away nicely into the ground and help with the yield of the next crop. But after we've done this, we're going to do 2 headlands, and after we've done that we're going to set a worker going, and then it's going to be taking our oats to the grain mill. So I'm going to get 2 headlands done and see you when we're finished. Two laps finished, so let's just get nicely lined up with the straight edge, and then we can leave the rest to the worker. And yeah, the reason for doing 2 headlands is just sort of helps them out a bit. They do struggle sometimes when it comes to the edges, especially where there's obstruction and there's a road on the far end, so wouldn't want them to collide with any traffic, would we? But yep, that's the worker nice and off, and if we stop and look here we can see that our yellow canola that was nice and bright yellow last time has now turned a golden brown colour, so it is ready to harvest. So we've got to get off and get our oats to the grain mill and then come back so we can start the harvest. So that's the reason why I'm deploying some of the workers and helpers today, is because we've got too much to do around the ranch, so I really need some help. But yep, let's just make sure we're not attached to the tanker, leave that there. And next it's over to the dealership, as we want to get a new trailer that's going to help with carting the volume of oats that we've got to the grain mill. So let's just leave the helpers to their work and we can head off to the dealership. This truck has got great pace and I'm not even flat out. Don't want to go too fast. Right, here we are at the dealership, so let's just park up for a second and see about getting our new trailer. So the trailer I've had in mind is this Lizard Logistics TLX X52 tipper, brother to the Trans 70, which we use for our silage work. So this looks to be a perfect match for our truck and also the Trans 70 trailer we've got for the silage. So I'm not going to get any extension, but you can make it into a forestry trailer, which is quite handy. Wheel brand, I'm going to go with the Vredestein, which looks nice and off-road chunky tyres. Extras, we can get side bumpers, details, or we can get both. I think we're going to get both because they look good. Lighting, we can get lower, upper, and both. I think we'll go for both. Attachers, we'll get the rear hitch just in case we want to hitch up to anything. Cover, yes, be good and handy to cover stuff up. And then for colours, I think we need to make it similar to our truck colour scheme. So let's get some white and red in there. There we go. I think that fits the bill and is going to match our truck quite nicely. It's expensive, $91,700, but it's going to suit the farm and benefit the ranch for the long term. Right, so let's back up to this beastie trailer. Hitch it up. Very nice. And yeah, let's get over back to the silo at the ranch, grab the oats and take them on to the grain mill. So I'll see you over at the grain mill. Okay, so we're at the grain mill. Let's turn into the yard and see if we can get our trailer backed up and unloaded. In fact, we might just be able to cycle through here and just unload. That's unloaded. So we didn't use the trailer to its full capacity, but as I said, this trailer is going to benefit the ranch for the long run. So yeah, we're going to have bigger loads than that in the future. So if we look at the productions menu and the grain mill specifically, we can see that we've got 43,639 litres of oats. So we want to activate that now and start the cycles of turning that oat into oat flour. So for every 150 litres of oats, we get 188 litres of oat flour, which means we're getting a bit of extra capacity for each cycle. And that's going to help because the price of oat flour is just over that of oats. So it just means that we're going to expand our volume and then get a bit more money out of running the productions. So yeah, we'll see how much we get once we finish, but yeah, expecting to get more than the 43,000 litres we put in there. And yeah, we can leave that running and make our way back to the ranch, and then it's on to our canola harvesting. Just been on the way out, and I think the double yellow doors is where our oat flour gets deposited and unloaded from the mill once it's finished processing. So it will appear there either in the form of pallets or some other item. I've never made oat flour before, so we will have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to come and get that loaded up and taken to the sell point once it's reached its maximum capacity. Right, just coming back to the ranch, and we can park up this trailer probably in between these two fields, as we're going to need it to unload our harvested canola into. And it's been really nice driving around in this big truck and trailer. Just goes to show that we are increasing the size of our farming operation, And yeah, we're getting into some of the bigger style of farming. But yeah, we can turn the truck off and leave it there. So we'll head over to the harvester that's parked up in the new yard. We can take a quick look at the worker who finished doing the grass. It's actually quite speedy. Managed to do that quite efficiently. But I think as per usual he's left just a small patch up here. So we'll have to go and tidy that up. That's right, he left this patch here. Don't know why. Sometimes they just like to leave patches for me to come and have to tidy up. There we go. Last bit done. So we can just turn off, fold up, get this parked up, and then get on to our harvesting, which is what we really want to be doing. Oh, I've just placed another jet sprayer here in the new yard, so we can clean our equipment nice and easily without having to take it back to the other part of the ranch. And yeah, I'm not going to bother cleaning the harvester, which I needed to do last time, as that's going to get filthy dirty harvesting the canola. Nice and clean. Let's get this put back somewhere in the new part of the yard. There we go, that goes in quite nicely there. So we can park up the case and grab our harvester. Okay, so we're in the case axial flow. We can take it over to where we're going to start our harvesting. As you can see, the worker is making some good progress on the big field number 10 with the mulching. So that's looking pretty good. And of course, after we've mulched, we are going to have to see about digestate spreading it. We sold our old spreader, so yeah, we're going to have to buy a new one. And they are quite expensive, so yeah, hoping that we can make some money from our crops before then. Yeah, we'll start with the big field this time, shall we? Because that's closest, and I can just drop the header off here. There we are. And the good thing about this canola is that we don't have any other purpose for it other than to just sell it. So yeah, it's a all cash crop for us, which is really good. Let's get the header on. We can fold up the wheels and the tow hitch, unfold the harvester, and then switch her on and get started. So there's no straw as byproduct from the canola, which reduces the jobs that we've got to do post harvesting. Of course, last time we had to deal with the straw from the oats, and we bought a fantastic new baler, the Krone Big, and that did an immense job of square baling all of our straw. We rented the Artemusprime bale stacker as well, and got those over to the animal dealer and sold them for a fair price. But now it's all about our canola. First part of our headland done, so we can raise the header up, turn 90, and set off in this direction. And I'm sort of going against the grain here. I should be harvesting with the auger being able to go outwards, so if we needed to unload mid-row we could, but never mind. Should have enough capacity to get round to where the truck is, and then I can unload. Yep, it's all go 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 with the canola harvest. So I'm going to see to probably both of the fields and speak to you when I'm done. See you soon. And there we are. We have finished harvesting both canola fields. So that is really good. There was a bit of a sticky patch on this field. I had to sort of try and go over it a couple of times and then eventually just had to go for a different angle. I do remember that last time as well, so it is good that we are going to be turning this field into a grass field, field 2 and 3 that's merged together. As yeah, it's just not the best kind of suited shape field for crops. It's better for grass. So yeah, that's the last crop we are going to harvest from this field, sadly, but never mind. So let's get this header unfolded, wheels back out, get the attachment down as well. We can lower it and drop it in place, and then we'll just scoot round, hitch up, and then we can get the harvester and header all washed up. It's had 2 reasonably big harvests, the oats last time and now our canola, and I'm intrigued to see how much canola we've got. Hasn't filled the trailer, but yeah, wasn't necessarily expecting it to. Canola doesn't yield as well as wheat or barley, so yeah, we really need to try and max out that trailer if we can. Be nice to do something high yielding like wheat or barley in the largest field, but of course we could use that trailer to take our silage to the BGA as well. It is high enough that it could tip into the bin, so that is really, really good. Let's scoot through here and get our harvester washed. Yes, very worthy of a wash, this harvester. It's done a good job. Might need a service as well. So I have placed a repair station next to this garage door, which is quite fitting, and we can get our harvester and header serviced up, which is good. Okay, so I am going to just drop the header there, as I have plans for where we're going to put it, and the harvester can park in our nice large vehicle shelter over here. And yeah, I think we'll just put it over here for now, leaving a bit of a gap. There we go. Excellent. So it looks like this field has been all mulched up. Let's take a look at the map. Yeah, we can see that it's all mulched, which is really, really good. And that's going to help the next crop yields. But for now, let's get the mower folded up, and probably need to get this washed and serviced as well. But the plan is that I'm going to set the worker off mulching the other field as well, which we've just harvested, the canola fields. Just going to drop the mower off here and use the John Deere to latch onto the header so we can get that parked up. And you probably guessed it, I am going to see if we can park it in our oval tunnel, which is got 2 entrances, one at the front and one at the back. Which is the front or the back, I don't know, but here it is. So let's see if we can get it through this end. There we go. So I think that fits like a glove. There we go. Now let's go grab the mower again and set the helper off mulching the other fields. There we go, so we should just be able to set the helper off going, and yeah, we don't need to worry too much about the headland on this one because that field is in a ploughed state and there's not a lot for the helper to crash into, he says. But that's the helper off, and then once they've done with this field we'll set them going on field 2 and 3. We might as well mulch that as well, but we are going to be planting grass next time. So time to hop in the truck and get our canola to the oil mill. Here it is. Let's see how much we've got. 40,810 litres. That's not a bad haul from both those fields. So yeah, pretty good. We can start her up. And yes, we're heading over to the oil mill. as we're going to be making use of productions as much as possible now that we've got license to use them. And the oil mill, as the name suggests, can convert certain crops into oil. Canola is definitely one of them. Canola, or rapeseed as it's known in the UK, can turn into canola oil or rapeseed oil. And yeah, it's actually really nice at the moment because near where I live in the UK, they have got some rapeseed fields or canola fields, and that is just starting to turn a little bit golden. I imagine they'll be harvesting it later in July or even August, and yeah, it's quite nice that we've been able to do that crop on our ranch and see it turn from the nice flowery yellow to the golden brown. And yeah, not too long ago the crop near where I live was a nice flowery yellow, but that's all come off now and it's starting to dry and turn a little bit brownish. Yep, let's head on to the oil mill and get this deposited. So it is the first production here. So let's turn in. Aha, I can see the sign. Natural oils. So we just need to line up the trailer and get this deposited. In it goes. Our canola is tipping in. Natural oils. There we go. Got quite a high tip on it, this trailer. Okay, so back to the production menu, and we can see we've got our oil mill that can do sunflower, canola and olive oil. So yeah, we could even do sunflowers to try and get some oil as well. But yeah, it's going to take 2 canola and turn it into 1 piece of canola oil. So let's activate that now. And the good thing is the price of canola oil is far better than the price of canola. Look at canola. It peaks at November at the price of $2,100. If we go down and take a look at canola oil, we can see that it peaks at December at the price of $5,742. So yeah, although there's a production cost, we are going to be profiting from turning this canola into canola oil. That is fab. Our new trailer has been sublime at delivering these goods. The oats are at the grain mill as well, turning into flour, and now our canola is in the oil mill, turning into canola oil. So yeah, we really are benefiting from these productions. Let's get back to the ranch and see what's next. So back at the yard, and one good thing about this trailer is that it has a cover. So we don't have to park it under the vehicle shelter and can save some space. And another handy feature of this trailer is that it's got a manual stilt lower and riser. So yeah, we need to lower the stilts so we can safely detach it without meaning our trailer is going to drop on the floor. So that is really handy. Okay, we can leave the Mac there and go see how our worker's getting on. Here we are, worker is making good progress, probably more than halfway through the field, so that is nice. Let's go check on our horses. Here are our wonderful horses and the horse paddock that we created last time. One thing I have noticed is that every time I load the save game, it undoes the grass that we sort of textured here and the sort of dirt patches around the gate and high traffic areas, and it sort of goes back to its default grass for the open pasture. So that's okay, it's not too bad, but it would have been nice if it kept it. But yeah, the horses are now on 99% level on their reproduction, which means tomorrow, next session, next month, we are going to have some newborn horses. So yeah, we should increase our horses from 5 to 10 on the ranch, which is really good. Now this is going to be interesting because I have had these horses a long time, probably since the very early episodes of Mossy Pine Ranch at Elmcreek, and so far we haven't really made any money off them. So I'm going to keep a hold of the horses and see how them reproducing is going to be an earner for the future. The horses are now worth a fair bit more than what we purchased them for, but it'll be interesting after we've had some offspring to just see how there are the possibilities of making money from horses, because it definitely doesn't seem as lucrative as it did in FS19. And the sheep are loving life in their new open pasture. You'll probably tell that there's a lot more than there were before, and that's because this pen can now hold up to 50 sheep, and they are reproducing like mad, so that's really going to benefit our wool production. And yes, the wool production to the spinnery to make fabric has been very lucrative, so I'm looking forward to doing more of that when the wool's ready. Okay, so the only job really that's left for us today is to get our grass forage wagon collected. Foraged, I don't know what the term is, but yeah, we need to get the forage wagon and go along and pick up all the grass that our helper mowed, which was very nice. Now, I do need to think about an upgrade to our forage wagon in the future, because we are going to be extending our grass fields. We're going to keep the grass meadow, but we are going to make field 2 and 3, which we just harvested the canola from, a grass field as well. So yeah, we definitely need to increase the size of our forage wagon, and I'm thinking of pretty much doubling the capacity. This one can take 23,000 litres. We want to be getting around the sort of 40,000 litre mark, and there is a nice Stroutman that I've spotted, but it's a bit expensive, so we'll probably have to wait till we can buy that. But that's going to help speed up the grass operations. It's going to help deal with more volume of grass from our other field that's going to join the grass operation, and also it's going to be a good alternative to picking up straw from any crops we have in the future that have straw as a byproduct. So yeah, if we're going to do wheat, barley, oats in the future, then the straw that comes from that we can forage wagon up. But yeah, we did buy a baler, so I do want to try and use that as and when we can. But yeah, we're probably going to have to do the next cut of this field a hay run, so we'll have to ted it and windrow it up and get some hay from it, because the horses are going to need it. Luckily we have got some in stock, so I'm thinking the last cut of the year we will make hay from this field, and don't know whether we'll need to do it from both fields. In fact, actually, if we can plant grass in field 2 and 3 soon enough, that might be able to grow and be mowable before the end of the season. So yeah, those are the plans of expansion, and there's always a plan of expansion on Mossy Pine Ranch. I am eyeing up the next potential expansion, and that is probably going to be the area next to area number 10. So yeah, area of field number 8 and number 9 is what we're eyeing up to try and buy next. It is quite expensive. It's $727,000, so we've got a long way to go. But yeah, if we can buy field 8 and 9 and then this area here, this hilly patch can also be a nice grass area. And there's a little bit of forest up here, so we might be able to try doing some logging. We will have to wait and see. But yeah, I have just seen that our eggs, the chickens, are no longer having any space to be able to deposit their eggs, so I will have to see to that, as well as our helper finishing off the mulching. We'll have to set them going on the next field, and I'm going to see about finishing up this forage wagoning, but it's all stuff you've seen before, so I'm just going to crack on with that and probably leave it there today. So what have we done? Well, first of all, we got our helper to kindly mow this field for us, and we also asked the helper to do the mulching in our big field, field number 10, which had the oats in last time. That is all mulched, and now they're just finishing up the larger canola field, so we'll have to set them going on the other one. But yeah, we took the oats to the grain mill to start our oat flour production. Be interesting to see how much we've got and what that looks like next time. And then we harvested all of our canola in these two fields and got the canola over to the oil mill. And yet again, it'll be good to see next time what we've got by way of canola oil and what that looks like, whether it's pallets or bottles or who knows. Be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm going to finish up getting this grass all forage wagoned and put in our silo to start fermenting so we can get it to the BGA. But yeah, that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. Big thank you for your views. If you like what you see, then please drop a like, and if you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is hope to see you again next time, and until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.